Oh, no, that's okay. I need to sleep. No, it's fine.
Recording in progress.
Today we actually don't have like a lot of obligations, which is nice. Yeah. We don't ask this stuff. They ask me.
Okay, welcome, Nneka and Alyssa. We're going to begin right away with questions. Please let me know if you have a question. We're going to begin to your left in the second row.
Hi, Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Alyssa, you were, if my memory's right.
Do you mind putting the mic a little closer?
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Alyssa, it's a question about Kahleah Copper and whether you watched her growing up. Because I know you're a couple years older than her, but she was starting to come through, I think, when you were a senior in high school. And then obviously some intersections between Rutgers and Maryland or the AAU circuit or whatever it may be. What did you see of Kahleah coming up and now to where she is?
I mean, of course, I had heard about her, but never. I don't think we ever played against each other. But I knew she was going to be a great player, and I followed her career over the years, and I'm just so happy and proud of where she is. And there was no doubt that she was never going to be an all-star, but she's a great player.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. This question is for Nneka. Being out here in Chicago, what has the experience been like for you? Is this something that you could petition to the commissioner as far as having an all-star game in Los Angeles at some point?
Man, I've been asking that question since I started. I love it when we're in new cities. I think it brings a fervor and an energy and a spotlight on the WNBA for people who may not know about it, for people who are avid fans. I think it's great to continue to keep the attention on the WNBA, given that the championship was won by this city last year. It's kind of like a perfect way to keep that energy going. I mean, I'm gonna keep petitioning for it to be in LA. I'm always keep petitioning for that. I would love, my dream is for All-Star to be a thing that players like who aren't necessarily immediately a part of it to want to come to, you know? And I think we can definitely get there, but so far Chicago has been great. The weather has been lovely. I think that's always important. But the city, you can tell that they care about the Chicago sky here, and they have people that really want to know more about the W, and the business can grow. And I look forward to also having next year's All-Star be announced earlier so brands can activate.
Next question to your left in the third row.
Hi, this is Remy with the New York Times. Just to kind of follow up on that, this question's for all three of you. The W is at this kind of moment, the transition era in a way. We have so much momentum around the league. How do we keep that going? How do you keep eyeballs on the sport? What do you guys want the league to do next?
You know, first of all, I would like to, I'm very happy that you framed it in a way in which you asked how, like, what we want the league to do next, because for so many years people have asked us what we need to do. I feel like we just need to go out there and hoop. But you're right, we're kind of on the precipice of something that can really turn into something big. You know, it's a sport, it's a business. There's so many intersections to, you know, what we do and what we're involved with. I think, you know, the magic word is expansion, and in order for that to happen, we have to continue to seek investment, secure investment, continue to have open markets in which we haven't had, you know, big events such as the All-Star in cities like Chicago, and really just ensuring that players are first, because that's really where the business starts. If we're not happy, it's going to show, you know, and then fans won't like to watch players that aren't happy. And I think that really has to be the perspective moving on. And not saying that it hasn't been, but continuing to collaborate with the league in order for us to grow the business in a way that can be as robust as we envision it to be. I know that's a general question, or sorry, general answer.